Ah,
Hello, Zanetta. How are you today?
oh, I'm glad it's Friday.
Yes.
So glad it's Friday. Yes.
Fresh Fridays. Welcome,
Welcome.
everybody.
Welcome to Fun Fresh Friday, and it's hot.
It's hot. It is hot. Is it hot? Well, it's hot here in Melbourne. I don't know about there. It's
Well, it
pretty
finally
hot
got to, yeah, it finally, but we're going to have snow again. So,
because I did notice the snow.
yeah, we're going to have snow again. It got hot a little bit, and then now we're going to get snow. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I might take this off. So I might, be sleeveless and, just,
Get a little warm, huh?
yeah, get a little
Well,
warm. But
our conversation's going to get a little hot anyway, too, won't it?
yes, it's gonna get hot up in here.
Isn't there a song? It's getting hot in here, so take off
Yes,
your clothes.
I'll take this off, but that's about it. This is a family, This.
Mhm. Absolutely.
uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so, do you have anything before we dive in, or you want to just dive in?
Well, how about some shout outs?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and get it. What's your shout out? Who's your shout out?
Okay, I have a shout out to Rich all the way down in California.
Oh,
He's gonna join us possibly. So
hello, Rich.
you get it on the replay.
Yes, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to say hi to one of my good friends. We've never met, just like you, we've never met, in person, only virtual, but we have become close. I mean, I wouldn't say, close, but, close enough to be able to talk to each other, in a vulnerability kind of relationship. So I'm going to say hi to Anitra. She's a very well, she supports us. She watches every day. Well, all of the segments, not
Mhm.
usually on live, but when she's able to pop in on live, she does. And but she watches on the replay and she does comment. So hi, Anitra. Thank you
Hi,
for your
Nicole.
support,
Yes.
and we just appreciate you. So there, yeah.
Yes. Hello. And hello to everyone else that's watching, that's joining in or is about to
Yes.
join in. And if you're joining in, hashtag live. And if you're catching it on the replay, hashtag
Hashtag.
replay. Ta-da! And
The hashtag trolls.
we see you. We
Welcome.
we welcome you too.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So we have a very interesting topic. Hmm. Let me. Should I set it up, or should what do
No,
I?
you set it up because you're all
Oh.
revving to go.
So we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about friends, and especially what happened during COVID. It kind of did this strange thing with relationships.
Mhm,
It put a strain on relationships. It exposed certain relationships,
mhm,
and post COVID,
mm.
it also put a strain on relationships, and it also um, uh, posed a and I'm sorry, it also exposed certain relationships that we thought we had with our friends. We're going to welcome Monica Young. She says,
Yes,
very interesting.
I love Monica.
Welcome, welcome. So, we know of different types of friendships. We're used to, the type of relationship that is toxic. We know how to deal with those people. We find
Oh,
out that they're
we think we know how to deal with them.
Well, we don't deal with them. That's how we deal with them. We don't. Um, because we didn't know that they were toxic until we experienced the toxicity. So we
Yes.
don't deal with those people. We don't deal with those friendships. Then we have our best friends. Best friends are people who you don't have to talk for over a year. And then when you do talk, it's as if you just talked yesterday.
Mhm.
There's no loss in the time. The relationship is still intact, and there's no animosity. There's no, well, how come you didn't call me? Why do there's this just understanding of,
Mm.
and that's the best friend. Those are do you have one best friend? No, you have several, because each personality, each character, you take on to that personality, and you're able to express yourself differently to different best friends.
Mhm.
But there's this in the middle
Mhm.
that we don't have a category, and because we don't have a category, or we were never exposed to that category of friends,
Mm.
we don't know what to do with them, and we don't know how to place them, and we don't know um, uh, how to interact with them with certain scenarios. I love it. I love it. So they're called ambivalent friends.
Mm. Now, do you want to just give the breakdown of ambivalence? Because it
Yes,
is quite uh, a strong word that
it
doesn't really
is.
get used a lot, and,
No, it
it's
doesn't. You can
yeah,
use ambivalent in a whole bunch of other,
yeah.
but we're going to use ambivalent with this kind of friendship because it hits home. You'll understand what I'm talking about. So ambivalent friends are those friends that you have this mixed emotion of, should I go out with them? I don't know. But then uh, you have this war going on inside of you that you just don't know. When their name comes up on the phone, you're like, do I want to talk? No. So there's this war, well, I did call, and I did, well, you know what? So you're having this dialogue inside of you that you're saying, should I do it? But here's the thing, your subconscious is telling you, don't.
Mhm.
That's why
Don't
there's a
do
war. That's why there's a
Mm.
war. You have that feeling, you have that, ah, it's like you're in the middle of the seesaw. You just don't know. At least the toxic, you know where they're at, and your best friends, you know where they're at. Your enemy, you know where they're at. But these individuals, you just don't know.
Mm.
So when you don't know, it does something to you. Mm.
Mm.
So can you think of friends that
Okay,
fall into that category?
absolutely. But before we go there, I just
Uh-huh.
want to say, when we say we don't know, it's it's really we do know. I think we do know because our subconscious or our higher self is actually speaking to us very clearly, very loudly. It's giving us the signals, whether we get it physically in our bodies, we feel sensations, we get that tightness in the throat, that gut feeling in our solar plexus, and we choose to ignore it. We don't choose
Ignore.
to listen to it because, the conscious mind kicks in, the ego, and it says, well, they did do this, and they were nice at that time. And, and then you've got this real big, like you said, seesaw or tug of war happening in your body, right? And
Hmm.
that's that's the fact that we do know. So, but we choose not to listen to that knowing
Hmm.
because we feel we may have an obligation with that person.
Hmm.
We feel that we owe them something, which we
Hmm.
don't owe anybody. anything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
first thing we have to remind ourselves, and that we we have to be true to ourselves, and that's where we have to have that sit down conversation with ourselves. We have to flush it out,
Mm,
whichever way that is, whether it's thinking it out or writing it out
right.
or painting
Hmm.
it out or something like that, that is going to really, put things in perspective. If you're more of a logical person, if you're more of a physical person, creative, it may mean creatively expressing it. But so I just wanted to say that. Okay.
Hmm.
What's Monica saying?
So she said sometimes we have to figure it out as a secondary trauma. And the other one, she says we have to figure out we have nothing else to give. I think what I know where she's going, that we have nothing else to give. In other words, because she always says, "Well, I don't know if you have the bandwidth." I like that saying. I don't know if you have the bandwidth to talk to me today. I mean, I always have the bandwidth, but do I have the time? So
Mm,
that's that. That's where I go. Either do I have the time or do I have the bandwidth? You know, with with friends, and I'm gonna, because ambivalent friends, we don't measure whether we have the bandwidth or not. We just say, yes, I'm available to you.
mm,
Of course I have a bandwidth, but I just don't have the time. I mean, if you could call me back later, or I'll call you back later. That's what we do to our friends. And
mhm,
there's two questions that we need to ask ourselves when you have those ambivalent friends that you just don't, well, but you don't know. You're kind of like tugging. You're
mm,
giving an excuse as to what you're feeling. So go
mhm.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead. Finish that off. Did you have to say anything else? What were the 2 questions?
So we'll get into that when we start talking. You can't get that yet. Look at you being impatient. I want questions now.
The show will be over. We want you hanging on. So let it all begin.
Yes.
Okay, so what was the question? Have I had that happen to me?
Yeah. Do
Where
you have those friends in mind already, that you're already like, oh yeah, those are the friends that are not on the best friend scale. They're not on the toxic scale, but they're on the ambivalent scale.
yes, 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 I do. I do. And, I've actually had them in the best friend scale as well, and they've kind of like, declined, and then all of a sudden become not even ambivalent friends. Well, actually, it goes through that stage first to really realize, say, well, what were they in the first place? What am I just a um, um, I misjudge the character of people, misjudgment. Do I
Mm,
have am I not able to? I have a poor judgment of character. That's what I ask myself, because I have found myself in those situations where I think, was I blind? Like, what did just happen here? What just happened that I have just been blown away? You know what I mean?
mm,
Like, just rewind back, and unfortunately, you know, I have to like agree and say to myself, well, yeah, I think I was a poor judgment of character because the signs were there. Like, I just chose not to take notice of them. I chose to just make excuses for them, or
mm,
"Oh, it'll be okay," or they're just having a hard day, or I understand. And
mm.
being that overly understanding person, um, it doesn't serve you well.
No,
So
yeah.
yeah, it doesn't. So yes, I have had, and I still have,
Hmm.
have people in that
So
ambivalent,
so
you know.
yeah, so let me address what you just said, that you're a you, what is it? You're a bad
Poor, poor judgment of character.
poor judgment of character. Okay. So let me address that. And the reason why I'm going to address it is because We do not have a poor judgment of character because we judge by our own standards. So
Mm,
we judge by through our lens. So what our lens, through our lens, we're looking through, um, you're an honest friend. You're, a friend that, will be there. You're a friend that, will will help out, will listen. You're that friend. So you're looking through those lens. And when you're portraying that, when you're gifting that, I just love the word now gift. So I'm going to start using the word gift. When you are gifting the person your truthfulness, when
mm,
you're gifting the person your good character, when you're gifting your friend, loyalty, you are
mhm,
gifting them this. Of course, the person is going to be elated and accept those gifts and respond accordingly. So their response to your gifting is what you're seeing. And you're like, oh, we can be best friends. So that's what it is. And
mm,
when you're doing that, then no, you're not a poor judgment of character. What you were judging or what you were seeing is what you gave and what they're reciprocating. You
mm.
understand?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
they're responding to you. That's what they're responding to. Now, when it comes to, um,
Monica says, "Perfectly said,
mm,
Sanetta. Perfectly
oh,
said."
that's Wayne. That's Wayne. Hi,
Oh,
Wayne.
wait.
Welcome.
Hi, Wayne. Oh,
Welcome.
sorry, I thought Monica.
So,
Hello.
Monica said, if the toxicity, let me see. She said, if the toxicity is coming from family, whether it's coming from family or your friends
Doesn't
or
matter.
coworkers or bosses or whatever, whoever it is, toxicity is just this: it's going to kill you. Bottom line, it's going to
Mm,
kill you. It's going to damage you, and you become toxic because when you are contagious, just say COVID, because everybody understands COVID. When you have COVID, there's an incubation period, and that incubation period, you are contagious. So when that toxicity is given to you, you are now in the incubation period, and you now are becoming toxic, and also you're becoming contagious. So you blow up, on certain things, and you don't even know that you're spewing toxicity. You don't even
mm.
know that. But
I love
then,
that. I love that how
uh-huh,
you broke that down, that you are incubating.
yes,
Yeah.
there's an incubation period.
Period, and then there's this contagious period. Yes, and then you
Hmm.
screw it all up, and it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. It is. So what happens? So that's toxic people, and we know this. We know that they're toxic because we feel it, and
Mhm.
we blow up instantly. I mean,
Mm,
we get this emotion, like, a negative, high intensity emotion. I can't believe.
mm,
Here they go again. Those are the intensity emotion that comes out of us when a toxic person is doing something or saying something.
mm,
But that ambivalent friend, they're so
mm,
stealthy. They
mhm,
come, they come like they're not even on your radar.
they're smooth, aren't they?
They're
They're
very smooth. They're very charismatic.
too. Yes, exactly.
Very charismatic. And what do I mean by charismatic? They know what to say to get you going.
Mhm,
They know how to say it, they know when to say it, and they'll so someone who is charismatic, their intentions are always selfish
Yes.
because they want the attention.
Yeah,
They
and
want, yeah,
yes, they want the attention. They want
they
things done their way.
they want to be the hero.
Mm. Or not
Ta-
even the hero, but the center of attention too. They just
and
want
that is the hero. Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, when you see the hero, they're like, dun, da, da, look at
How's it going?
me. I
Ta-da.
saved the world. Yeah. Dun, da, da. This is me. I saved the world. I saved you. Now you owe me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my
And
god.
now you owe me comes it blindsides you.
Mhm.
What? Wh- You mean to tell me my friendship is your friendship? So now you're at a war. Well, wait a minute. Well, okay, I mean, I, yeah, I kind of do owe you because you were there when I was down.
Mm,
But do I need to pay that? I didn't know I needed to pay that. I didn't.
that's right. Friendships comes with a cost accordingly to that person,
Oh,
according to that.
right. I didn't know I was picking up a tab. I didn't know. You know,
Mm,
so 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 those ambivalent friends, they do more damage than the person who is toxic.
mhm. Absolutely, because you're right, actually, because when they're toxic, you know exactly what they are, and you can compartmentalize and put them over here and say, "Okay, I don't wanna deal with you, blah, blah, blah," but when we have this in between, you know, how's it say?
Ambivalent. Hmm.
Ambivalent personality type or friend in your life, it's like, oh, like, yeah, it's very uncomfortable, isn't it? It is
Yes.
very, very uncomfortable. How do you deal with it, Zanetta? Like, have you experienced something like this? Like, let
Oh
me hear
yeah.
your share.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's where the heartache comes in. That's where the pain comes in. That's where the betrayal comes from. The
Yeah,
ambivalent friend, the ambivalent family member, the ambivalent
co-worker,
partner.
or partner, yes. Yes, they
So,
can actually come in a partner form too, in a relationship, in an
yes,
intimate relationship,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
it
really
can
hard.
because you have that, that tug of war. That's a telltale sign that that individual, that relationship is ambivalent. It doesn't go on the scale of. So here are the two questions.
Mm. Get
The
your
two
pen and paper out, everybody.
the two questions that you ask. Can I trust you?
Mm.
One. The second one is that can I rely on you? Trust and rely, it can be, maybe it's the same. Oh, that's the same. No,
There's a difference. There is a
there's
difference.
there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference on can I trust you and can I rely on you? Can I trust you to handle my brokenness? That you're not going to make it more broken. That you're not going to take my brokenness and broadcast it into the world. Can I trust you with my deepest fear and not use it against me?
Mm.
Now, can I rely on you
Means,
to keep that promise?
yeah, follow through.
Follow through. Not
Mm.
just relying on it. Can I rely on you to, be there for me? You, you have a life, you know. And when, uh, and this is what we need to understand. Each of
Mm.
us have a life, and we
Mm.
need to respect that. But to rely, can I rely on you? Can I rely on you to really take my heart and rely on you to handle it with care? Can I rely on you on that? And if the answer immediately is, huh, no, you know, huh, no.
Mm.
If it's a question mark, oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, there's that war, there's that tug.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm. Which I believe, my theory on that is your answer is within the first 3 seconds.
Yes,
Boom.
quick. It's quick. The answer is quick.
And you've got to catch it. If you get into the question mark, the doubt, and you're gone too far, and that's when you've lost it. You are then going into doubting, questioning, and you've lost that initial yes, no answer. So this is actually something you can practice. It's a
Yeah.
trained behavioral skill that you can acquire and strengthen as well, because
Mm-hmm.
it's in anything. It's
Yeah.
even like, do I take this turn or not? On the car, do I buy this or not? The first initial answer, whether you get it visually, whether you get it, if you're kinesthetic, you get it physically in your body, you hear it as a sound, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
you will get the answer. It's training yourself to learn to know that that is it and trust yourself. Because I think the two questions are, can I trust you and can I rely on you? But the initial question should be, can I trust myself?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can I trust myself to
Yeah.
trust this person? Because initially, the trust has to begin with us, right? If you haven't
Right.
got the trust in yourself to trust that person, well, then it's not strong enough. So
Yeah.
I think those two questions are really, really important. But trusting yourself with making that decision, trusting that first initial answer that you get yourself, trusting
Mm-hmm.
yourself with it, even if the doubts come in, taking that and running with it and trusting yourself that everything's going to work out is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
important.
And there's level of trust. There's different types of trust. Like you know, like with me, when we had a couple's date, and the family that I trusted for my daughter to go to wasn't available. They were out of town. So now I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, um, now we have to get a babysitter, an actual babysitter. And so now my level of trust will be, okay, do I trust this individual, just by reading? What is it? So my level of trust with that person can only be this much.
Mm.
So we have different levels or different ways to trust people. Not giving all of your trust, because I trust my gardener, or landscape people. I
Mhm.
trust that they're going to do my yard the right way.
Mm.
Now, will I trust them to go inside my house?
No.
No, no.
Yeah.
That's somebody else. That's a different trust. So when we say, can I trust you? But we're talking about relationship. We're talking about a an intimate relationship, to where you are going to entrust your being, yourself, that's why we call them best friends, or we call them our partner, or our significant other. Why do we say significant other? know,
Mm.
my better half. Why do we say that when we really inside I can't stand you?
Mm.
So there's that thing, but we're going to talk about the ambivalent people that 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 catches us off guard. And yes, plenty of times, plenty of
Yeah.
times I've said several times, I can't believe they did this. And in the back of my mind, I'm already replaying a whole bunch of stuff that were cues, that
Right.
were telltale signs, that were flags, red flags that I did not pay attention to, like what you said earlier.
Mhm.
When I say I can't believe, yeah, I can.
Yeah, exactly. The signs are all there.
The signs were all there. Yeah.
So we have to take responsibility.
Yes.
That's a bit of a hard pill to swallow because, that's something I really talk about a lot with my, you know, what I do with men and or women too, where they say, "Oh, but he did this and he did that, and I can't believe he'd do that." And yet, if you backtrack, the pattern hasn't changed. It's just a different day. It's
Hmm.
just a different scenario. It's a different situation. But we have to trust that in ourselves, don't we? We have to really, um, and not with a doubtful mind, with
Hmm.
just stepping back. I think what we need to do, and that was what my talk was about yesterday, knowing when
Ah.
to step
Hmm.
back.
Yeah,
In a
that was
relationship.
good.
Yeah. Did
That
you
was
watch it?
good.
Did
Yes,
you
I
actually
did.
watch it? I did?
I always watch your
Oh, thank you.
videos.
Yeah, and I was so passionate about that because that that is such an important step,
Hmm.
part of any relationship, whether it be intimate relationship, friendship relationship, whether it's co-workers as well. Sometimes we just need to step back and be
Yeah.
that third person removed and look into that frame, look into that picture
Hmm.
and see where everybody's positioned. Like when you're playing chess, right? What do? You don't just go right into the game. You sit back and you think and,
You
you know,
just
like,
strategize. Yeah.
yeah, you strategize and you foresee what could
Hmm.
happen if you move this over here and that over there. So that is the same thing when you're stepping back, and it gives you
Yeah.
a clearer perspective of, detaching yourself, and it gives you a clearer perspective to then go in motionless. When you're
Hmm.
detaching yourself, you're not entwined in those emotions while you're in it.
Right.
And it gives you time to breathe. It gives that person time to breathe. And in that stepping back period too, I think you can see how that other person's going to play out because there's your answers even more so. Your answers will come out amplified because
Yeah.
you're a lot clearer. You've stepped back and you'll see things with a whole lot more clarity.
Yeah. And here's another thing that you can do while stepping back. Ask yourself, how do you feel?
Mm.
What are you feeling? What is your emotion? After that phone call, what are you feeling?
Mhm.
If you're feeling betrayed or hurt, or that's a telltale sign. You
Mm.
know, um, we've had conversations, Stefania. We've had some deep conversations. We've had some conversations that I was kind of, and I didn't know how to say it, but I know it needed to be said.
Right.
Especially, with your father, it because it was so sensitive, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to break her heart. I don't want her to think that I'm, y- you know, excuse me, let me drink.
The water. Mhm.
I didn't want you to think that I'm insensitive. So I have allergies. Sorry.
That's
Um.
okay.
So, but I had to ask the question, and I was like, Zafania, I hope I just want to know if you're already preparing, because that I was like, oh my God, I hope that she sees and knows my heart. So I was very careful because I know what it is. I know how it is when you receive this, the news that your loved one passed away and you didn't prepare anything.
Mm.
The I mean, just the craziness, the emotions already up, already, and then you have all of these logistics that you have to do.
Mm.
So as a friend, even though we've had those conversations, and you've had them with me, because you said, Zanetta.
When I say it like that, it's
I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble with Stefania.
like
Never one time did I ever get off the phone feeling that I was being attacked. Not one time. Not one time did I ever feel like you were disrespecting me. Not one time did I ever feel like I felt that you were a friend who loved me enough to tell me the truth
Mm.
in a
Um,
truthful, loving way. And I was receiving enough, that I trusted you to tell me that. And I could rely on you on that as well. So, yeah, ask those questions. How do I feel? Because your feelings, your emotions will immediately tell you
mm.
when you're starting to get upset. When, yeah, ask yourself. And if you feel encouraged, if you feel loved, if you feel blessed, if you feel more empowered, if you feel more motivated, then yeah, then that's a good friend. That's not an ambivalent friend. If you feel, I just don't know what happened.
Wiped out, deflated.
Yeah, I
Flat
don't know. Yeah, you
eh,
feel now drained. Your energy is now, you're on the lower vibration, and somebody says something to you, you're like, ah, because that's where
Exactly.
you're operating. So ask yourself that. Ask yourself,
Mm.
how do I feel? When somebody makes a comment to you, especially a friend who's an ambivalent friend, and they say something to you, and you're like, what?
Yeah. And I think too, what's important, what I've learned on my journey, is not to be harsh on yourself. So once you know the truth, right? Once everything has been exposed and
Hmm.
you've done the questioning and it's sad because when a relationship comes to that point and you may have to end it, it may have to
Mm.
be cut off. It's like a dead branch that just does
Hmm.
nothing there, or it weighs down and it just is taking from the roots, it's taking from the trunk, it's not giving vitality to the rest of the tree. You have
Hmm.
to cut it, right? So
Hmm.
the same thing is with a relationship. I know that sounds really harsh, but when it's not, it's draining you, it's sucking the living daylights out of you, you need to cut it because it's like a cancer. It'll infect other areas of your life.
Right.
And that can be really sad. There is a grieving process we go through,
Hmm.
not only through death, it's even when there's a separation, a divorce, a breakup of a friendship, romance, whatever it is.
Hmm.
There is grief. We go through grief.
Yeah.
We have to grieve.
Hmm.
And we've got to allow ourselves to do that. And in the interim, not judge ourselves because it's quite easy to fall into that category of judging, criticizing. How could I have done that to myself? How could I have allowed myself? Because when you're seeing things clearly and you've seen the cues and the telltale signs and everything was all there, and now all of a sudden the light's gone on, we
Hmm.
get, I don't know about you, I've beaten myself up bad,
Mm.
and it's not healthy. It's not healthy.
No.
Don't. Allow yourself to grieve and just say, I did the best I could with the knowledge I had. I'm just I'm more awakened now. I'm more
Right.
evolved. I've done a lot of work on myself to now know the difference. Whereas back then, I didn't know any better.
Right.
I trusted my own intuition or my own learnings, my own wisdom I had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So give yourself that grace, I say to people, to just embrace that and allow that to fortify you to leveling up and moving on and growing, because
Right.
nothing is wasted. That whole episode, whether it's, a 10, 20-year relationship, friendship,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, or 3 months that was just so packed full of everything that felt like it was 20 years, but it was only 3 months. It served its purpose.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
served its purpose. So, yeah. So going back to, do not judge yourself. Do not embrace it. Just embody that and say, well, this has actually been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Right, right. So I like what you said that don't, judge yourself. And um that because not only are you put in a predicament of, you know, because it's your choice. Basically, it's your choice to whether to continue that relationship or not,
Mhm,
to nurture that relationship or not. But for you to say, well, how could I have missed this? Well, you there was a reason why you missed it, number one. um and whatever that reason is will surface. And
mhm,
when you do get that answer as to why you didn't see it before, then embrace that,
mm,
learn from that, glean from that, grow from
mhm.
that, so
To
that
the
the next time it
mm.
happens, yeah, you know
And
first
whether it's
time.
with that person or someone else, right? Whether it
Right,
happens,
whether
yeah?
it be the same person or with someone else, you are now equipped. I like to say, now that I have given you tools and have sharpened some of your tools, because sometimes our tools get dull, and
Uh-huh.
we have to sharpen it. Sometimes it takes somebody else to sharpen it. No,
Sure.
this is how you do it. um, so yeah, uh, you know, some of your tools have become dull and now it's sharpened,
Mhm.
because of what happened. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, thank you for the sharpening. Is yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
don't be so harsh. Like what you were saying, you're a poor judgment of character. No, that is not true. You're
Mm.
only judging from what you have or who you are. So because here, someone who is very analytical.
Hello. No, you just
I
have an audio digital mind. You break things down, you know.
I'm analytical. I have a very question suspicious mind. I just like to, oh, okay. Um because that's how I am. That's who I am.
Mm.
And so when I start a friendship, I'm like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah." Mhm.
Then you go off and analyze and break it all down.
I'm just the one sitting on the sideline. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
Mm. Oh, you want to go for a walk? Okay. Go for a walk. But all the while I'm still doing this in my mind, because that's
Mm.
just how I am. I'm not suspicious. It's just how I am. That's what I'm looking through, because that
Mm.
is my character. Your character is, I mean, we make fun of it, but it's a beautiful character. It's a beautiful character. It's a
Oh,
child.
it's got
It's
me
a
into so much trouble, it's not funny.
No, but it's a childlike character.
Mm.
It's the kumbaya. Let's all get along. We make fun of it, but it is so beautiful. It is, what we should strive to be. Because if you put children together, They don't see color. They don't see age. They don't see gender. They don't
Mm.
see none of that. All they see is, can you be my friend?
I know. It's different.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, so that's what what we're talking about. Don't be harsh on yourself because that's just who you are.
Mm.
You have that heart. Yes, are you now a little bit older, you know, uh, you still have the let's kumbaya. Let's
But I'm
just
a bit
all be
more
friends.
selective with who I kumbaya with now.
Right, right. But
I
you
am.
still,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, but you still don't see color. You still don't see age. You don't see the gender. You don't see none of that. All
mm,
you see is, can we kumbaya together?
yes.
You know, and so yeah, so don't be harsh on yourself. Don't say that you're a poor judgment, whatever that is.
Poor judgment of character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say it because I removed that from my vocabulary because I see through my lens, and nobody can tell me that what I'm seeing through my lens is is what's good for it's not good for me. Uh-uh. I
Mm,
pick I pick if I
right.
want an ambivalent friend, if I want someone who's wishy-washy, I'll keep that friend for a reason. You know
Mm,
how that saying, you have, you people come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Um, as you saw that little cue that I just did, I'm like, because I don't believe in that. Uh, I, I keep them because I still want to, be able to be there for them when they need it.
right.
Um, I still want to be able to hear what they have to say because what they have to say might have some relevancy.
Absolutely.
You
It all.
know, yeah. But what I won't do, I won't let them in here.
Mm,
They're at a distance.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that, I guess that's the way it should be. I mean, because you can't be open with everybody. And
Hmm.
yeah, but even, I've noticed even with the way that I am sometimes, that can also be frightening. I've noticed because it's like, remember you said one time, it just comes across like it's too much, and people are not used to this kumbaya style friendship. They think, okay, so what's her motive? And when you get to know me, there isn't a motive. There is
No,
just,
there isn't.
yeah. And I can say that because I don't have motives. And I'm always out to try and, help people. But
Hmm.
yeah, I've obviously learned quite a lot where I've had to step back and, um, not be like that. Not because I'm trying to change my character. I've had to modify to help myself,
Hmm.
grow because I wasn't growing when I was
Mm.
at that stage. I was
Hmm.
just repeating the same, I guess, experiences and not getting far in life.
Mm.
That's how I would break it down for myself. And yeah, but it's been all good. It's been wonderful. So every one of
Yeah.
those um, ambivalent friends have been a blessing.
Yes.
I honestly say that. I honestly say that because
Yeah.
what usually happens. Let me just add this to ambivalent friends. Sooner or later, they noose themselves. Is that the right word?
Hmm. They hang themselves. Yeah.
They hang themselves
Hmm.
because you give them enough rope, and their motives are obviously not sincere,
Hmm.
that sooner or later, sometimes sooner, sometimes a lot later,
Right.
they will hang themselves.
Yeah.
And you know, it'll all surface. Everything does surface in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And here's we've exposed a little bit, because there's a lot that we could talk about, the ambivalent friend. We just wanted to have the surface, just to put it out there, because when I was talking about it, I was like, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of an ambivalent friend. I've never heard of that. um so here's the because the topic was this kind of friendship can be dangerous to your well-being. So when you have those ambivalent friends, once you recognize them, once you identify them, your well-being, your peace, your state of mind, you know, uh, it can be attacked, and it can cause you the you know cause you to become like them. It
Mm,
can cause you, and this is the danger of having an ambivalent friend, and they're showing themselves, and they've hurt you, and then they've said I'm sorry, or come back to you as if nothing ever happened. Hold up. you're you you called me, and you like, hey girlfriend, what you doing?
Yeah,
Didn't you just cuss me out 3 days ago? Didn't we just, and now you're saying, hey girlfriend, what are you doing? Let's go out. So it that's that tug of war. That's that, and then here comes another blow. So you're like, oh, okay, well, because you are a forgiving friend. You are that friend that, you know, um, and then you give them another, you know, open the door for them, give them another try. Come on, let's go, let's come by ya. And then they hurt you again,
yeah,
you know. And so when that pattern continues, because that's what ambivalent friend does, I don't even want to call them a friend, but yeah, because they teach you. So when that pattern continues, the danger is you might become like them.
mm,
So then you
yeah,
start treating them like that.
mm,
Then you start to become like, yeah, no, you start becoming harsh, which is not your character. So you come out of character just to deal with this,
right.
and that is not you. And so that becomes the danger of it. It changes who you are.
Yeah, it's so true. And I just want to add to that too. There's a transference of energy from that
Mm,
person to you. So you're carrying that energy as well and then transferring it out to others that have got nothing to do with, that person. Then they may be real dear loved ones in your family, in your life
mm-hmm,
circle.
mm-hmm,
And you're then vibrating at that energy. You're right, with them, and
mm-hmm,
that's where the danger can be.
mm-hmm.
Mm, and you can become bitter, you can become because you're not being honest with yourself. You're not being, you know, um, you're not having the integrity you need to have with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Say, "Is this serving me or it's not serving me? Or how is this serving me?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you just have to it's important to have that conversation with yourself
It
and
is.
ask yourself those 2 questions that you were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, take a look. This is how I always you know um answer for those that say, how many how many friends do you have?
Mm,
My definition of friend is totally different from maybe everybody else's definition of friend. So my friends, I can probably,
10?
I'm probably stretching.
That's a lot. That's
I'm stretching.
uh,
Yeah, because I'm over 50. I'm halfway to I'm closer to 60. Uh, closer to 60 than I am.
it's good
So
for
but I'm stretching. I'm stretching with the friends. Now, best friend, that's total different. That's a different category. Friend. How many friends do I have? Um, how many friends do I have here? And that's Jeff. That's Jeff. So there's certain things that I value. I value friendship. So therefore, I'm going to have quality versus quantity.
hmm
Yeah. I'd rather have 3 quality good friends than to have girlfriends that we can just go out and hang out and have a party.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that comes with maturity. That's just
Yeah.
like standard, you know. Um, yeah, and it is like that. It is like that, and true gems of friends. Uh, when they come through, you've got to know that they are, and just you know cultivate that friendship. Be
Mhm.
grateful, appreciate it, not just take it for granted because that you can soon lose them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a tricky one. What do you do? What don't you do? I think you just need to keep experiencing life and embracing those amazing, you know, experiences, and also embrace the ones that aren't so amazing because that's where the lessons are. The
Mhm.
beautiful, wonderful ones, they're the feelings, they're the feel good feelings that give you.
Mhm.
There's not really a lot of lesson. It's in
Right.
the not so wonderful experiences that the gems, the pearls of the lessons are in that.
Yeah. So here's a good way to put that in a I guess to give you a good visual is that the good things in life, the wonderful things, the amazing things, you are able to breathe. You're breathing, you're relaxing, you're able to be you and not be on guard. Those not so amazing things, not so good things that happen to us, those are the ones that we work for. We're we're working when we want to build muscle. Of
Mm,
course, we have to work for it, right? When we want to lose the weight, we have to work for it. And there's pain involved, there's uncomfortableness involved, there's things that are that you don't want to do but have to do, need to do, that's involved in those uncomfortable, don't want to, but there's always a lesson. And then those things that are wonderful and amazing, that gives us the breather, because if you're constant here, then you're no good person. Yeah. If you're constantly here, you're in la la land. you know, were you
yes,
just born? you know
yeah,
but if you have both of them, it becomes a cohesiveness, a wellness, well-rounded, um, for the individual. So yeah, take the good and the bad, and it makes a good um,
recipe.
full day, because the sun does Not shine. I mean, it shines all the time, but it doesn't shine on you 24/7.
Mm. Yes, absolutely.
Darkness does come.
Yes, 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 yes. Wonderful. Well, this has been a great conversation, Zanetta,
Yeah.
as always. And
Oh, we're at an hour. Woo.
hour time just flies when we
It sure
together,
does.
get together. Wow. So we're going to have a few more conversations, that helps us get our head around these ambivalent situations
Yes.
we get ourselves into. But yeah, for those of you that are listening and have chimed in, thank you. And if you have anything to say about what we're talking about, if there's any input, anything you'd like to share, maybe stories and experiences, we would love to know. Wouldn't we, Zanetta? We'd love to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Type it in, message it in.
We'll get
Yeah.
back to you.
Yeah.
So, to add to
Oh,
that,
yeah.
our our week will be enlightened. We'll be able to see things differently with our, you know, friends and acquaintances and
Hmm.
family members, possibly. And what would you say would be a takeaway, a couple of takeaways for people to, you know, take away?
Yeah. So
What
if
we'll
so if you
recap.
have, yeah, if you're kind of, in that uh, seesaw emotion, the I can't believe, I can't believe she did this. I can't believe she said that, or he said that, kind of a seesaw. Well, she is this. Well, he is that. So that's, you might want to ask yourself, can I
Mm,
trust this person? Can I rely on this person? And if the answer is no, then, you know, like what Stefania said, you need to learn how to remove yourself, and you need to, kind of step back and reassess whether you want to continue with that relationship or just continue to drift away. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's for your own well-being,
Hmm.
for your
Yeah.
own well-being. Because who doesn't want to be well, right? Who doesn't want to be happy and joyous and have a you know reasonably smooth life where you don't have to
Hmm.
be confronted with all these situations? Because that's the hardest part I found is like, why do I have to deal with this? Like, why me?
Hmm.
Why now? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I'm in it now, so I have to deal with it truthfully. And the saying, "The truth will set you free."
Hmm.
So true.
It
When you're
is.
honest with yourself, and then you're transparent and honest with other people, even the ones that are making you feel uncomfortable because of their ambivalent, you know, moves.
Nature. Hmm.
You just have to be, yeah, transparent with them, because I think that's also, again, falling in the category of setting boundaries. They know exactly now that you're aware and you're not comfortable with it, and you're going to do something about it. You're
Hmm.
changing your moves,
Yeah.
because I always say to people, it's about changing your password, because
Mm.
people keep doing the same thing because they know your password.
Mm.
All you need to do is change your password,
Mm.
and then they just can't do the same. Can't get in. When you've changed the password on something, people
Ooh.
can't get in, right?
How about we do a deep dive on it next week, changing a
Okay.
password. I would like
Changing
to know about that. That kind of piqued my interest. I want to know more about that, changing the password.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? But it
Yeah.
it makes sense. It
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't want anyone getting into your computer or into your affairs. That's
Right.
usually getting in there. change your password. They can't get in anymore.
Right.
And we'll talk
Mm.
about how to change password.
Yes.
Woohoo! All
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Awesome. So what's your takeaway?
My takeaway, yeah,
Or
I
what
guess,
you would like for the audience to have a takeaway as a
well, I think
takeaway?
with what I just said before is really be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Truthful. Speak your
Right.
truth and be transparent. And with these ambivalent friends or people that are in your life, if the situation arises, be open and honest about, you know, how you feel
Mm-hmm.
without casting blame, right? No pointing fingers, but just be honest and open, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then the ball is back in their court. You know,
Right.
you don't have to carry whatever they've lumped on you,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, whether they've made you feel guilty, shame, disappointed, whatever. It's not for you to carry because that's all they're doing. They're transferring their energy onto you. And you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, I'll take it. No, you're
Mm-hmm.
just saying, okay, I'm aware of what's happening, but this is not my
Right.
shit. Let's be honest, not mine to deal with. So I'm just letting you know that this isn't mine. Thanks for sharing. Da, da, da. This is how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm going to do about it or
Mm-hmm.
not going to do about it, whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be.
Yeah.
So be honest. And if you lose that friend, so be it. That
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
they weren't a friend to be in the start,
Right.
right? In the beginning, they weren't ever a friend. You just didn't see the signs.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You were playing kumbaya all that time.
Yeah.
So it's okay because you're only making room for, the real people that are going to
Right.
people that are emanating, vibrating at that same energy, that same
Yeah.
frequency. You're
Yeah.
going to resonate with them. You're going to draw them into you because that's what you're, vibrating at, that energy, at that
Right.
frequency. So you can't attract anything different.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Yeah.
Right? If
Right.
you're in an orange field, you can't expect to be, attracting lemons
Right.
because you're in an orange field,
Exactly.
right? You're going to
Yeah.
have to squeeze some oranges. You can't
Yeah.
squeeze any lemons.
Cannot.
No.
Yeah.
So, I think that's my takeaway. I think that's what I'd like to leave everyone with today.
Awesome. That was wonderfully said. Beautifully said. Yeah. 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 Wow.
And we're going to talk about passwords next week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll kind of put a title on it and see, you know, who do you allow in?
Mm.
Mm. Hmm. Who do you give your password to?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, Zanetta. So
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap it up.
Yes. 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 All right. Well, until next time.
Mm,
Always
yeah.
here. Unless something else happens. But until next week, we
Send you love.
we send you passion.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.